Welcome back to Real Fishing, where every cast is an adventure. Whether you're a seasoned angler or someone just beginning in fishing, the Fishing Report is going to help you out to find out where to go fishing this weekend. As always, the Fishing Report is sponsored by 7 Seas Apparel, so don't forget to use code REALFISHING10 to save yourself off 10% anything 7 Seas Apparel. Let's get into what's been biting around Sydney, and well, the whiting have been really consistent over the last week. We have seen some nice conditions and the whiting have been really consistent, whether it be anchoring and using nippers and burley trail along those sand flats, as well as using surface lures. Along with that, the cicadas have been absolutely going off. Using those cicada lures to catch brim and estuary perch have been producing some really nice fish in good numbers. Any tide, as long as those cicadas are singing, people have been absolutely smashing the brim and estuary perch on those cicada lures. Heading out offshore, there's been a few kings about around our reefy areas and along our cliffs, few and far between, but still consistent enough to head out and have a fish for them. Out offshore is where the marlin have been. All the way up and down our New South Wales coast, people have been heading out and chasing marlin and being really successful on them as well. So that's what's been biting around Sydney. Let's look at this weekend. And well, this weekend looks pretty nice. We've got a nice breeze on both days. Saturday seems to be 25 to 30 k's east-southeast, and then Sunday has a nice light gentle northeast breeze. So if we're going to head out and have a fish, looking in the mornings we have a nice run-in tide. Tide changes around 5:30 to 6:30. What I would be doing is fishing that run-in tide. Now, whether you're going to go onto the sand flats and pump some nippers and fish for whiting on that run-in tide, or you can target brim or trevally as well on those run-in tides. That's a good one to do if you're going to head in to the rivers. Along with that, you can also grab a live bait as well, or even some squid strips and target your kingfish on that run-in tide. Heading out offshore, early morning snapper is a really good option, and our kings along the cliff as well is another really good option for our morning sort of fishing. Again, if you're a lure fisherman, that run-in tide, fishing those points and the rocky foreshore lines using either cicada lures for your brim and estuary perch, but also you could target things like salmon, mac tuna and kings on those soft plastics. Looking into the afternoon, in the afternoon we have a nice run out tide turning into that run in tide. So again, we're going to fish that run out tide. We might start early up on the flats, fish the run out tide for our whiting, and then we'll fish the edges for our flatted till about 5 o'clock. Then once that tide starts to turn, again we can use our anchoring technique and anchor up using our nippers and create a burley trail and fish for our whiting that way. But also what you could do is use our surface lures in and around the bays and along those edges to be able to target our pelagics, our salmon, mac tuna and kingfish, also really good ones for that afternoon bite around that tide change. Once that tide has changed, fishing that run-in tide all the way into sunset will be a great option. If you can anchor up and target some fish on the sand flats, whiting are number one there for that afternoon. So that's going to do it for this week's Fishing Report. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all go out and have a fish. Leave a comment down below where you're going to go out and have a fish, and we'll see you next week for the Fishing Report.